Shalom. It's a brother Tazawak Gal from Germany with a new lesson. First and foremost, I make for all praise, glory, and honor, and thanks unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, committed to us truth. Peace and blessings, salutation to you elect out there, splendor, truth, sincerity, and our charity across the four winds. So, back with another lesson. Revolving around the title, Don't be fooled by the trickery of the devil, man. You know, because what you see right now going on, also in Germany, or I said what sparked this lesson was these articles I saw yesterday about the famine, you know, and also the videos that I watched, and especially the article from this morning that said that the 3G rule for entry and leaving the country or return to the country is dropped, man. It's dropped till the 31st of August, you know. So, but you see all hell is going on in the world. You see the famine coming up. They said 2/3 of the, if I remember right, 2/3 of the food reserves are spent up of the world. They say that there's new disease coming up. Talking about making the annual vaccinations in America. Fauci said that every year they should get a shot. So you see all these things going on, but still it comes with peace and safety. They say like, yes, see, everything's going on, but y'all can travel now. You see hyperinflation slowly but surely kicking in. You see famine kicking in, slowly but surely. You know? You see the scarcity of food, which is the famine, which also spikes the money, the prices. Your money gets lesser or weaker in power and strength, but the money that you have to pay for the food gets up. So they fucking you all from all sides, man. So now, but what they want to give you is a distraction. I'll forget all about that. You can travel now again. Y'all can go to all places without any tests, without any 3G. Y'all can just return. Even though they said in fall, probably the mask has to come back up again, and intensely 2G rules or 3G rules have to come back in place. And 2G means recovered or vaccinated or shut up. You know, and 3G is just with the tested in it, because all the words are in German start with a G. You know, we say geimpft because you can say the other word, geimpft, getested, and genesen. You know, genesen, recovered, geimpft is juiced up, and getested is the tested ones. Okay, so we have all these things going on, but still they come with certain things to distract you. You know. What did they do also? They open up the bread and circuses again. But you still see madness going on. When, for example, I watched a little bit of the basketball finals. You know, not everything like crazy, but I watched a little bit of it. So I watched it and I see the one coach, I think from Boston Celtics or something. This dude standing the whole day without a mask. Then they have the huddle, or come together, and they have halftime break or something. And then what? Then he takes on the mask. I'm like, what kind of sense makes this? So this is showing you that the madness is still going on, but they want to come with peace and safety. They want to come with something to really keep you distracted, okay? But still some distraction, you know, coming upon them, man. So let me read these scriptures real quick. First, let me start off in First Timothy chapter 5, and let me start verse 1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. Yeah, because we should measure the time diligently in itself. We should check the times. Like I said, go on to the news, man. That should be also one of the main things that we do. Even though you might not go into the articles, like that in depth or something, but you should know what is going on around the world. And this means to go to alternative media. And yeah, ESA blocked it because one of the main ones that we used, especially in GMS, was RT. But I was talking to a brother yesterday, and they clipped that shit, man. They clipped it. They took it completely out, because you can still catch RT on Odyssey. I checked it yesterday, but RT America is clipped. It's not there anymore. They took that out. America is blocking it completely or entirely. Okay. So lucky. Wait for 1 second. So America clipped that entirely. Why? Because like the brother said beautifully yesterday, they only want to have the one point of view. You know, they only want one point of view. And see, they're playing with you people. Because I saw yesterday, hey, that's the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because now it's another thing. I just passed the gas station, right? And what I saw a video, and the German government said they have like a I would say like a survival or like an escape plan or something, that they gonna drop the gasoline just by 30%, by 35 cents. They're just gonna do it. And then one guy said this won't happen, and it exactly happened, man. It exactly happened. And what is this another thing? Fooling the people, thinking everything is all right. Oh, see, the gas price dropped again. Keeping the mass of the people fooled. And that's the spirit of the Lord. You know, fooling these people, blocking these people. Because they're not meant to get it. Because if you can't see that this world is going down, if you can't see that Esau's playing with you, man, then we for the blinded your ass. And that's the beauty of, because it's part of prophecy. But nevertheless, all these things going on for what? To keep your mind easy, because now they said it, right? So now everybody want to travel again. Now all people can travel again. They're like, oh, see, the gas prices are low also again. What does mean low? But like I said, man, like I think 2 years ago or something, I always forget the time because the time goes so fast. But the time period before, not that long, the gas price here in Germany for the even E5, man, which is the expensive one, you know, the gasoline, expensive gasoline, was like 145 or something, 150. Now it's 180, and before that was 220, man, €2.20 for a liter, not for a gallon, for a liter. So that's really what's going on. And why is this all going on? To fool you, to keep you distracted, to keep your mind off the things that are going on in the world. But we as the prophets, we as the men of the Lord have to be the watchmen. We can't just sit idle, man. We have to be working. We have to watch these things and bring out these prophecies, man. We have to bring out the things that are going on in the world. So now, let me keep on reading. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. Yeah. You know, but on who the day of the Lord going to come as a thief in the night? On them that watch not. On them that do not watch. On them that don't go into the prophecies. On them that do not study. On them that don't hearken unto the prophets. You know? Because the prophets give you a warning, man, from the Lord. They give you a warning. But if you don't want to hearken, it's on you. Because we just wipe the blood from our hands. That's why we do these videos. That's why we try to do these videos on a daily basis. But like the elder Pastor Ramler said, sometimes you might fail for a day, but then the day before or the day after, you do 2 videos, man. You know? Which was, for example, with me the case. Yesterday, didn't really had the spirit, or yeah, the spirit wasn't really there. No title came really to me, you know, to do a video. I studied and stuff, but nothing really hit me that I really wanted to go into. I said, okay, that's it. And then the day before, I was thinking, oh, I did 2 videos actually. You know, I did 2 videos. So that's how the spirit moves, man. But we have to keep our head up. We have to keep on teaching. We have to keep on preaching. We have to keep on warning. We have to keep on sounding the trumpet. We have to do that. That we're going to be guiltless in the eyes of the Lord. Because the world is guilty. The world is guilty, and that's why we're going to get punished. But we have to be found guiltless. Without guilt. Without conviction. Okay? So, I was thinking about... I hate that. But again, we go back. Now going to the point, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Exactly. Because they speak about peace and safety right now, but the famine is coming. The what is it? The martial law is coming. Jacob's trouble is coming, which is going to be the trouble of the whole earth actually. But he's going to be saved out of it. He, the elect, going to be saved out of it. Why do you think it's called Jacob's trouble? If the whole world is made for us, why don't you think it should be called Jacob's trouble? The whole world was made for Israel. And of course it's going to be called then Jacob's trouble, man. What do you think? Why should the Lord call it the whole world's struggle? No, because it's a struggle of the Israelites. But y'all going to go through it too. And y'all going to be caught slipping in that and going to be killed. I'm talking about the heathens and the other nations. Okay, and not about the Israel foreigners, but the actual heathen nations, man, that we kicked out of the land, that we fought against in the time past, that had the crafty counsel against us. I'm talking about them, about these devils. But like I said, you can't be fooled by the trickery of the devil, because everything is smooth right now. And what does the scripture say? His words were smoother than oil, but war was in his heart, was paraphrasing. Okay? So Esau, comes to smooth verse, he's like, yeah, everything's all right, man. Like he said, they say it like this. Yeah, famine is coming, but we got to cover. But why you say that the famine is coming? Why you bring it out like that then? Because you want to say like, I warned y'all already. And that's really what they're doing. Okay? That's really what they're doing. So they say a famine is coming, yes? Okay. But we got it covered. But they don't. They don't. And it's designed by them because they think that when they bring chaos, that can bring the order. But when the chaos comes and they want to implement the new world order, to the C, to the H, to the I, to the P, like the Apostle Ramlab always says, to the Karagma, when they bring that out and they think they can establish a new world order, the Heavenly Father is going to crush them. The Heavenly Father is going to crush their asses. This is what's going to happen. And we're going to get the verses, but let me, okay. Verse 4. But 1 Thessalonians 5:4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. So this is why we are not overtaken by a thief, because we watch, because we're in the light of the Heavenly Father, because we got the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, because we measure the times. But the world going to be caught slipping. But we can't be entangled with the affairs of this life, man. We can't. We have to keep our eyes focused, because we see these things coming to pass. And matter of fact, let me go to the book of 2nd Ezra. Because we seen all these things come to pass. And the man of the Lord, Esdras, was afraid of these things that are going to come to pass. 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter and the 17th verse. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. This is what's going to happen, man. The beginning of famine, this is what we're seeing right now. Because slowly but surely this famine is kicking in. When I go to the store, like I said, man, you see with certain items already. The wheat, or the flour. Then what else do you have? What was another thing that I was thinking about? The sunflower oil. And also, I don't know if y'all have it all over the world like that, but here in Europe, these mice waffles are really popular. Let me say it like that. A lot of people know them, like them, certain versions of them. So now, the rice waffles are there, but the mice waffles are not there. And I talked to a guy and said like, yeah, we have supply chain problems, supply chain interruptions. I'm like, supply chain interruptions? What you talking about? Okay. But this is just showing us again, because don't forget all these trucker protests. You can't forget about that. Can't forget about all these protests where these truckers laid still. Can't forget when the one ship, I think it was the Suez Canal that they blocked, man. Can't forget about the Suez Canal that was blocked for how many weeks, and the ship couldn't move. Can't forget about that. This all, you have to put that all into consideration with the economic struggle that the world is in right now. You can't forget about these things, man. These things happen for a reason. These things happen by design, ultimately by the Heavenly Father. Ultimately by the Heavenly Father. So we as men of the Lord have to warn the people. And this is what I want to get real quick, because I don't want to forget it again. Ezekiel chapter 3. But let me first keep on reading 2nd Ezra 16th chapter. 2nd Ezra chapter 16. I just go here, motherfucker. Just take my time, man. I ain't rushing. 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 18. And it says, the beginning of sorrows and great death and mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. So the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, and this is what the world is in. The world is in great sorrows and mournings, man. Don't you see it? They're like, oh man, this world is going down. It's painful. We can't do anything. And now they can travel again, so they're gonna be fooled. This is what I'm talking about. They shall say peace and safety, but sudden destruction cometh upon them. And sudden means out of nowhere, man. Sudden destruction. Like it says also in the book of 2nd Ezra. Let me read that also. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse, was it 50? Nah, 2nd Ezra. Let me just put it in. 22. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 And verse 32. And suddenly, let's look up the word sudden. Okay? Sudden. It says immediate. It says old French soudain or soudain. Sudden. It says from Latin subtaneous, sudden. From subitus, past particular of subire, go under, occur secretly. Occur secretly. And this is what's going on, because the first occurs secretly, and then it says come or go up straightly. And this is really what it is, man. You know? That's really what it is. Because they first have it secretly, and then out of a sudden for us, or for the world, it seems like it's out of nowhere, but it was planned a long time before that. Okay? And this is really what is going on right now in this world. That's really what it is. It says here sudden from definition of Wordner, from Wordner, because they have good definitions on there, man. It says happening without warning or in a short space of time. And it happens without a warning. Actually not. It happens with a warning, but nobody takes heed. So for the world, it seems like it happens without a warning. But actually it happens with a warning, because the prophets are warning you, man. We are sent out to warn your asses, and we do that. But y'all don't want to hearken. And this is why for y'all it seems like it's without a warning. You know? But it says, going back, 2 6 and 22, and suddenly, so without a warning, shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And like I said, I saw an article or I heard it in the news channel that 2/3 of the world reserves of food are spent up, man. And also, in Germany, they said 2/3 or 90%. Oh, I forgot, man. But like a higher number of yo, man. Telling you, all these accidents just happen because of impatience, man. Because I want to go in front of line and stuff like that. Anyways, and also the gas reserves that I have here had in Germany is also spent up, man. It's also spent up, but they're spending this up right now. Go. They're spending this up right now, man. You know. But hey, that's the spirit of the Lord, man. And we should praise and rejoice the Lord. We should rejoice and praise the Lord for that, man. Because all these things going on, it's just beautiful. It's just pure beauty. Because you see the end is coming near. And nobody can deny it, man. If you deny it, man, you really stabbed your eyes out, man. You didn't blindfold your eyes, you stabbed your eyes out, man. Because you can't take it anymore. You know? And yeah, you spiritually stabbed your eyes out because you're just blind. You don't want to listen. You know it's right, but you don't want to listen because it takes you out of your comfort zone. And this whole world is really caught up in this comfort zone, man. You know, we in this truth. We have to come out of the comfort zone. We have to do something that's overshift. We have to sometimes do more than we even do already. You know, we have to do all that. We have to do it. Why? Because it's our job, man. Sometimes you have to stay up long to talk to a brother. Sometimes you have to stay up long to study with a brother, or for yourself, or do a video. You know? And maybe you have to do other things. Because you did this truth first, and then you have to still cook, then you have to still clean, then you have to still work out. So be it. You have to wake up early, or you try at least. We have to do all these things, man. But this effort that we're putting in gonna pay out at the end. And you have to believe that. We have to believe that this effort that we put in this truth and that we put out there, we're gonna get our due reward for that, man. Let me just say it like that. You know, that we're gonna get our due reward for that. So it says here. Yeah. Let me see verse 23 also. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Like I said, this is what's brewing up also, because you can't forget that the world is really split into two parties, man. You know, they had the Democrats and the Republicans and or the Publians and Patricians, like in Rome, they have in America. But now to the Jews and the unJews, you have a split. You have always, they really put it with everything, with pro-abortions, you know, against abortions. You have it with, what was the other thing? Pro-climate change, against climate change. You have all these things going on, man. You have all these things going on. Okay? And why do you think that? Because they want to have always two opposing parties, that they can create the chaos and that the order can come out of it. But the true order going to come out of that, because it's all going to lead to the end. It's going to lead to the chip. It's going to lead to the prophecy fulfillment. And when one prophecy fulfills, another prophecy fulfills itself. And it's a chain reaction till it leads to the MOTB, and then to the World War III. And when all these things go on, when all these things going to happen, then our salvation is near. You know? Drive then. It's lucky. But these Germans, man, even if you want to make this race, man, they don't drive. It's just ridiculous. But anyways, like I said, oh yeah, because it's a chain reaction, man. Because the famine kicks in, the struggle starts, Jacob's trouble comes, the mark of the beast, and then hey, World War III happens, and then Yahushua comes back, and our kingdom is actually here, man. So this is what we aiming for, and this is what we're hoping for. So let me go keep on reading 2 Kings 6:24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So the thing's gonna be shut down, man. Okay, the thing's gonna be shut down, and really, sedition among men gonna come, and it's gonna intensify, because you have it to a certain extent already, but it's gonna intensify, and ultimately you have sedition among men, and you're gonna have people fighting against each other with swords, like I said, 2 Kings 15 chapter. Okay, and 14 going down. Yeah, man. So we go back to 2 Kings 16 chapter. 2 Kings 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. See, the powers, so the rulers shall stand in fear. This really what's going on. The powers standing in fear, but ultimately they think still they can implement the new world order, man. It says, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? So as shall come. When Ezra's a man of the Lord, or Ezra, a man of the Lord, that the angel spoke to and gave him understanding of the times and prophecies, and what his portion was, and he asked himself, what am I going to do in these times? So, you know, and he saw it. You have to understand, he saw the prophecies, and then he spoke about it and wrote it down, because these words are faithful and true, like it says 2 Kings 15 chapter, and the first verse, and the second verse, first and second verse. So now, you have that. He's seeing that, and he's really seeing this devastation. He really seeing this devastation. Oh yeah. And he's fearing. And you have to understand, he lived in a violent time, man. He also lived in a violent time, a time of war. You know, war was constantly going on in this time. There was no time of peace. And now these peons, these see, telling you, man. These soft cakes, these fruit cakes nowadays. Now I'm not talking about only these literal fruit cakes. I'm talking about all these easy men. They are not men. They're these boys, these children. They can't even look at bloodshed, man. They can't even look at it. How much more when it happens before them? How much more when they have to go through it? You know, of course, the surviving instincts will certainly gonna come in, but a lot gonna be caught slipping out there because they're acting like freaking females, man. But they are like females. They're even worse than females. Even females gonna out tough them, man. You know, and this is really the problem, man. But hey, these people be what they are, man. But like I said, man, Ezra saw all these things and he lived in a violent time. And he said, woe is me, who's going to deliver me in those days? He said that. He said that. So how much more in the times right now when we literally have to go through them? We have to build up our faith, man. And we have to do what is right in the eyes of the Lord to be in the good grace of the Lord. Okay? So it says, 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 19. Behold, famine and plague. So famine and plague. And what I have to understand, man, this whole C, you know, C, I call it C22, like a freaking football, American football snap count. C22. The C22, you know, or the C19 is a plague, man. You want to believe it or not? Because they had that, but then the cure is also a plague type thing, man. Because hey, they said 82% of the pregnant women that got the thing dead, man, or they lost the children, man. So this is mass death, man. This is genocide, man. This is genocide, man. Like not genocide, but this is like some mass murder, man. You know, this is some mass murder. So it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish. So tribulation, trouble, okay. I sent a scourge for memory, so they are sent as scourges, they are sent as correction, man. They really sent as correction upon this earth. For who? For the Israelites. But they don't want to hearken. They don't want to listen. And the world don't want to listen. Because Esau know that the scriptures are true and he doesn't want to listen to that. But that's why they're going to get punished. And for the wrongdoing to the Lord's chosen people. It says, verse 20. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Yeah. They don't even consider the scourges. They're like a stubborn son, you know, that you correct, and then next 2 seconds he just forgets about it. This is how the world is. They don't even take. They don't even take. Take knowledge of it, man. They don't even acknowledge the scourges. But all these things going on for the reason of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's return, man. Because all these things have to happen for the return of the Lord, you know, through Yahushai. It says, listen up close now, verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, which was the case. Victuals were so good cheap, man. You could buy so much. Gasoline was cheap. You could buy so much food, you know, for the money that you had. Could live lavishly, kind of like. Okay, of course, like for example, when the time was when you only had like one man household. When only what I mean with that is that only the man had to work and the woman was at home doing her thing. So I'm not talking about that time, you know, because there was like that. But also be after that, when I was thinking about when I all started working, earning my own money, and I was thinking about my mother, because my mother didn't have that much money, but she also always could fix us up, man. And why do you think that? Because the victuals was good upon cheap good upon earth, man. You know. So it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And this is really what's going on. They was thinking, yeah, everything is cool. You know, the whole time war was going on all over the world, but now it's coming close to the Western Hemisphere. You know, it's what they say is reaching Europe because of Ukraine. So now they get a taste of their own medicine, but it's by design. But they're really going to get a taste of their own medicine when they're going to get destroyed. Okay, and this is really what's coming. So we have to keep our eyes up, open. We have to keep our heads up. We have to speak. We have to preach. We have to prophesy. We have to be there for one another. We have to build one another up. So do your videos, man. You know. So we have to do our videos, and this, of course, first and foremost, always goes to myself, man. I have to do my videos. I have to do my studying. I have to do the things that are required of me from the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because if I want to teach and if I want to do my videos, I have to study. I can't just sit idle and expect that the knowledge just falls from heaven into my lap. No, I have to invest my time. I have to invest my time and my effort and grow. But it says, the rest to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, which you have right now. The sword is growing up because everybody's investing in the military, like Germany, man. You have the prime example, Germany. Germany spends 100 billion, euros, which is 107 point something billion dollars into the military. And why do you think that? Why do you think they can't do it right now? They have a justification because of Ukraine-Russia war. Because of that. Because I said, even the article said, Germany needed enemy threat, and I read a little bit of it, and it said like they had to have enemy in their face. They had to have an example of an enemy in their face, which I have now is Russia, and this is why they want to stack up now, and this is why the draft gonna come back also probably. The draft. Don't you think that in the emergency act they're gonna put the draft in? Because in Germany, every firstborn male in the 18 year has to go, I think, 1 or 2 years into the military, man. My mother was afraid of that, but then after, when I was like 10, 12 years old, I believe they dropped that law, man. They dropped that law, and then I didn't have to go. But normally, I would have had to go, man. And that's the crazy thing is, if this would be the case, I would have had to go when it was coming to the truth, man. Because it came to the truth when it was like 17, 18, So, hey, that would be a fight also, man. Because of course you would fight to still keep the truth. Maybe the Heavenly Father would just, the Heavenly Father would make a way if it would be the case. So, yeah, man. So it says verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger, the sword shall destroy. Shall the sword destroy? Exactly. And this is really what's going to happen, man. So, famine is coming, and the sword is coming. But we have to prophesy. We have to prophesy these things, because these things come. The sword, the ICP missile is going to come and going to kill innumerable amount of people, alongside with the laser beams of the chariots. Okay? And the famine is coming, like I said. That's why I brought these scriptures out, because the famine is coming. It's prophesied, man. The famine is coming. A lot of people are going to be dead. Going to be dying in that. And like it says in Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 9, if I remember right, it's better to die it's better to die to the sword than of hunger, man. Okay? It's better to die of the sword than of hunger, because to starve to death, man, it's terrible, man. It's terrible. Because your body gonna eat itself, and then at a certain point, Salakia, gonna stop working, man. It's gonna stop working. And then, but you wake up every day, man, and can't move because you got no power, no strength. But it says now here, I think that's done. So now we go to Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 17. Son of man, I've made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. So we have to give them warning from the word of the Heavenly Father, because we are his mouth. We have his mouthpiece, so we speak the word of the Lord. Like you have a mouth that speaks your word, we are spiritually the mouth of the Lord that's speaking it. Okay? It says, like for example, when the Pentecost was, which is if I remember, the Feast of Weeks, if I remember right, correct me if I'm wrong. But when the disciples, which was changed to apostles, got that title of apostles, saw the cloven tongue. Why do you think they saw a tongue that can speak in different language? Why? Because they speak the word, the mouthpiece of the Lord. And the Heavenly Father gave them the gift of speaking in tongues, which doesn't mean that you speak like crazy and nobody can interpret it. No, but that you speak in the language of another, that he understands it. Like we have right now. Like for example, somebody comes up and we speak in English, and also sometimes here in the German, and we speak in English, and then when somebody comes up with German, says he understands German better, then I have to step up and speak in the German. But that's the case. So we all have our gifts. But this is why. Why do you think it's that? Because we are the mouthpiece of the Lord, and Heavenly Father wants his word to go out in the four corners with all different kinds of sounds, man. So it says, verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, Salakia, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will have quiet at hand. So we all know that, man. We should all know the scripture. So, Salakia. So if we don't speak this truth, and we know this truth and don't warn, because you have to understand, you like spiritually sitting on the high tower, and being a watchman and speaking. And if you don't speak this truth, you you're a watchman on a high tower and have a trumpet in your hand. And if you don't speak this truth, then what is it called? Then you just like a sluggard of you sluggard watchman that just sits there, drinks, be drunken all day, and is full of wine, and to that doesn't sound the trumpet even though he sees the enemy coming. But we have to do that. So it says, verse 19, yet if they warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered their soul. Okay, so this is what we have to do. And again, when a righteous man doeth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he has done shall not be remembered. So don't stop working. Keep on working. Because your righteousness is going to be forgotten if you go back to the world, man. But his blood will require at hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, and that the righteous man sin not, and doeth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also, thou hast delivered their soul. So we have to warn the people. We have to speak this truth. So hey, let's do that, man. Warn the people, speak this truth, and give it to all, man. So it's everything I got. I pray and hope this was edifying to the spirit, power, mercy, grace of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. And if the spirit is there, Yahweh, I'm going to do part 2, touching a little bit more on the trick of the devil, going a little bit more scriptures on that. But like I said, man, it's everything I got for now. I pray and hope this was edifying to the spirit, power, mercy, grace of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. All praise, glory, and honor, and thanks be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. That belongs to the elders and apostles, committed to us as truth. Peace and blessings are the taste you elect out there, spirit of truth and sincerity, and our charity across the 4 winds. Until the next one, Shalom. And again, that belongs to the elders and apostles, committed to us as truth, man. Shalom.